Hello. Hello. Sorry, I forgot to check my mic before I started. I had it set to the wrong thing. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to the 21st episode of Making a Game in RPG Maker MMZ. Yay. I'm Nick, also go by Touch Fuzzy on various forums that are RPG related, RPG Maker related, and some other places you could probably find me if you search the username. And we're gonna just pick up where we left off. So last time I was in the middle of doing this cutscene, I had gotten all the way to the second kind of tutorial battle where you pick up Oliver, but I haven't done anything after that. So we got like right now, and we're still doing placeholders because I still haven't worked on any of the battle system stuff. I know I had a significant number of time and still worked on absolutely none of it. But this week, there's no explosions going off, because July 4th was the week before last, and I have power. There's no storms coming through this week, so hopefully we can get some stuff done. So we had the very beginning of this cutscene here. We'll have or jump over, engage, and then we'll have the battle afterwards. The first thing I need to do is kind of just remember exactly where things are standing, because once the battle is over, I need to know where all of my characters are. So I want to put this on my other screen, but then you guys can't see it. So anyway, the event is right there, so I can look at the zombie. Nope, not. I want to edit it. I want to look at where she moves. Preview. She moves 2 forward. She's standing next to that. Then we need to look at this preview. Here. So after this part of the cutscene, she'll be standing here. I think also the fox will be standing right here, if I remember correctly. And hello, Video Wizard. I saw you saying "look like I'm here on time," and then like was like, I'm gonna say something to him, and then completely got lost in my own sauce. But yeah, it's been 3 weeks. It's been like such a fast 3 weeks, I think, because of the game jam going on, and then a bunch of other stuff. Like I said, it was July 4th, so 1 week, and then I had my power go in and out for 3 days, from Sunday through Tuesday. Last week, I had power maybe about half the time. Luckily, it was enough to where I could get most of my job done. I did have to miss a meeting on Tuesday, which was, annoying, but and I didn't get to do the stream last week, but so it's been 3 weeks, but it feels like I had no time to do anything because of all the stuff going on. Hello, Mark Andre. How are you doing today? I'm just looking at where my events will end up before this little fight, where I left all my events. So I know he's here. This one's here. These zombies will be 1 forward, I think. Or actually, wait, I think he's back 1 step. Or did I make him go back 1 step? I actually don't think this works. Hold on a second. I don't think this works. It doesn't. Because she's running right through them. Because they're going to be here and here. And I guess I could have her jump again. Hold on. So what we need to do, let me look at it again. This isn't going to work because I forgot, hold on. So she's doing this. No, this. That's not going to work because the enemies are here and here now. I'm trying to go through the space. I guess I could have her go like that. I kind of feel like I need to adjust my map. This is actually something that is kind of important, is knowing when, like, when I made this map, I wasn't thinking about how I was going to event on it, right? So I didn't think that I would, about needing to, you know, move around things and stuff like that. But what I can do, make sure that, I still think there's going to be some editing I need to do to get this to work. But by pushing this down a little bit, I should be able to get this event to work. All right, so each of them moves forward one. Oh, start of 2 weeks of vacation? That would be nice, wouldn't it? And yeah, the having no AC on was really, really, really sucky. I oh, I'm not a fan. I 100% agree that is that was the problem. So this will actually work, though. I think I'm gonna adjust just a hair. Oh no. Yeah. So what I want to do is cut, paste. That way she runs in front of them. And also she needs to turn downwards. I don't know why I didn't include that. She's protecting him. August is actually summer, because summer starts later than what you think. The beginning of summer is, I want to say June 22nd? June, July, August, and then like August 22nd is the first day of fall. So most of August is in summer. People don't think about it, but most of June is actually in spring. And yes, I have power this week. It's been nice. My AC hasn't gone off, which is the worst thing about having no power. Because mostly what I did when my power was out is I have a bunch of comics on my tablet, and I have a battery, like a bunch of USB batteries that I have charged up all the time. So I just read comics the whole time my power was out. But with no air conditioning, that still sucks. Oh yeah, it's June, July, and then like September is still mostly in summer, which is bizarre. Yeah, I don't know why my brain was like thinking August 22nd, but no, it's like June, July, most of June is in spring, and then unless you're in the southern hemisphere, which is backwards, you know, all that stuff. Or if you're near the equator, in which your seasons are totally different. I don't know how they do the seasons there. But school always wants to go back in August. I'm not fond of that. I think my son goes back to school in early August, which is really annoying. Okay. But discussion of seasons aside, I think I've got that where it actually works now. So yeah, the placeholder battle. And again, I need to remember where everything's going to be when this finishes. So just going to hide this off to the side while I'm doing this. So at the end of this cutscene, zombies are going to be here and here. Or in the middle of this cutscene, where I'm at currently. Player will be here. And right here is going to be our fox. Who, by the way, will not be a fox later. He's a fox now. There has been a piece of art that has been worked on by the wonderful Archaea that will be going in here and also being released to the public. when she finishes it. But I've seen the sprite, and I've seen the line work, and everything's done except for coloring on the face set. But it's really cool. I like it a lot. Yeah, May to August is eh. Alright, so the first thing we need to do after the cutscene is we need to have our zombies die. Fall is my favorite time of year, though. I'm really looking forward to the change in weather. Okay, set movement route. Zombie 1 and Zombie 2 need to disappear. So the easiest way to do this is to, like, I do like a spin. Usually you want to put a little bit of a spin and then slowly transparencing out. So 255, you want to, I wish it was done by percent, but that's fine. I have not worked on this game since I opened it last time on stream. It's an unfortunate problem of every single thing deciding to happen in the last 2 weeks. So I'm gonna subtract 50 from it, and well, I'll go ahead and go to 200, and then go 200, 150, and then what I can do is just do some copy paste. I can actually copy paste this part too. Why I didn't. And then just edit this to 150, 100. So it needs to go down 2 more times. So let's grab everything from here. Done database game and work in my game, and I'm tired of it. Yeah, you know what? That's understandable. And then we'll turn it to 0. Also needs a sound effect. So let's put in a play sound effect. I have problems remembering what the names of different sound effects are in this. Does anyone know the name of the sound effect for when something like a monster is dying that they use? I always forget what the names of everything are in here. I'm sure this is wonderful sounds for you guys. Release my plugin generator 2.0.0. What does it do? I have not been paying attention. Maybe I should be. The Wilhelm scream. I don't have it in here, so I would have to. Or wait, is it in here? Not quite the Wilhelm scream, but it's something. I mean, really, right now, I need a placeholder sound, and I just need to remember it's a placeholder sound because I can't remember. But I feel like there is one that's pretty good for when something dies. I'm just gonna use stare for right now, even though it's not perfect. Alright, so what I want to do is, one, this doesn't need to wait because I want both of them to do it at the same time. And I can copy paste this and change which zombie it is, have it wait for completion, and remove the sound effect because we don't need it to play on both of them. I like the Theme 6 remake from Hold on, I'm trying to think what the name of the DLC was. It came with one of the bundles for MZ. It was so good. I like how I switch between calling it MZ and MZ as well. Let's see, I have it in here though. Where is that theme? I'm scattered today, guys, so just know that you're gonna get me talking about all kinds of stuff. I thought I put the theme 6. Surely I did. Oh, do I not have it? Oh, here we go. MVRE. Yeah. All right. That was for Drifty, who's not here. Just today, yeah, I'm more scattered than normal. I can tell because I'm just like jumping all over the place for my conversations. Takes all my plugins and you're able to select the ones you want and generate a single file for all 6. Oh, that's good. Like, it's just a combination or thing. Yeah. Okay. So. Alright, so I want to turn off this auto run up here. I know someone has like been like, you know that you can just turning that off so I can more easily test. That there is a way to test events without starting the map. And I'm like, yes, I know that, but I prefer to do it by testing on map. I want to make sure this works because I can't remember. Okay, I still have a problem because I have I have the VS thing, their event stuff is doing something silly. Okay, I'm still okay. Huh. I was wrong about where things are standing. Okay. So she needs to go another 2 squares to the right. I see what it was. I was using this spot, but only the little fox is standing there. I was wrong about where everyone was standing. So she needs to go another 2 over, and everyone needs to move with way more urgency. Yeah, I haven't done this map needs to have all the tile set stuff redone. Because remember how I was like condensing all my tile sets? I've not done it for this map. That's actually something I need to do because I didn't bother doing any of the passability until I condensed. Unerase event. I guess there is some uses for that. Like there's there are cheesy ways to do it, right? You can wow, my brain. Give me a second. You can just refresh the map somehow, which is the cheese way to do it. Refresh the map without fade. But just having a way to unerase event is probably easier. Let's see. So I had everything wrong. This one needs to move 2 more right. This needs to be below. And our speed needs to be way fast. This may be a little too fast. That's fine. We will see. Yeah, that is the other reason of like if you're not going to unerase all the events, then yes, you would need to. I like how I'm popping up my pre thing on the other screen. If you're going to do just a single one, I also need to turn off. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Except for I really think even she needs to move even. I probably need to go ahead and edit. All right. One more test. Yes, save changes. I tried to click on it on my stream preview instead of. Also, it keeps wanting to put this over there. Anyone's wondering about the little exclamation marks that keep popping up? That's from my battles. That's still not complete. Yeah, that's good. All right, now I need to start on actual like discussions and stuff. An erase event will finish the processing of that page while erased. Will it? Like, is that normal? Like the normal thing of what it will do? Does it? Like if I erase event in the middle of this, does it do that? I just want to know now. Where is erase event? I never use it, so I forget where it's set. Like there's only a few things where erase event are actually like basically if you want something to happen one time every single time. It's one of those things that, like I said, I just use it so little. I never thought about it. Let's see if it does, how it does. You're correct. It does the whole event, even though there's an erase event in the middle of it. Did not know that. That's a cool little tip. So anything, so basically, erase event. It does not really matter where you put it in an event, as long as it is in a spot where it's going to get hit at some point during the event. Like any event that has a erase event, you could literally just put it at the very top and not even think about it. I wonder if that feels like it's intended though. Like, is that the way it's supposed to act, or is it supposed to just immediately stop processing of the event right there? No, that's a question for somebody else that's not me. All right, so let's see. We have okay, so they're standing way too close together, right? That's a pet peeve. People shouldn't like. I don't like people standing literally on top of each other talking. It's fine in like normal dialogue, like you're walking around a village talking to people, because then you're just like initiating it. But in a cutscene, someone needs to be. That's coded. All it does is flag that it is erased. Huh. I do not remember anything about coding. I know actually I just don't know any JavaScript at all. I uh, learned a little bit. I learned how to program with BASIC, and then I learned some C plus when I was in school, but I did not learn nearly enough to be useful at it. I learned some Ruby back when that was the common thing, enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be useful. And then since MV started, I have not had time to really look at it and try to learn JavaScript. So I probably should. It's useful for a lot more than just this. So I generally tend to not look at the code at all. Okay, so all right, so here's the problem I'm having. I was talking about how like I don't want the two characters like 2 inches from each other's face when they talk, but it's awkward to have her step forward and turn around before talking. So, how can I make this less awkward? Oh, I could. Let's put him. I put him here and have her run to here instead, and then they can talk to each other. That means changing here. Here did the ways as though something was disconnecting, but seems I am still streaming, and my microphone's still working, so it wasn't like I heard the sound like when you unplug something from USB. I don't know what I heard, but oh well. So I need to remove one of these. So yeah. Okay. Like the thing is that if you did this and you had your event start, like it was 30 minutes and I've done almost nothing. But if you had yours like event start with the two people standing directly next to each other and talking, I would never actually make a big deal about it if I was watching it, right? But at the same time, I'm just really picky about it. Okay, so now they're going to be here and here. Our fox is going to be right here, played by actor 1, I think. All right, so again with this, I'm not worried about finished dialogue. I'm worried about getting the ideas in, right? I just want to have my character, this like, you want the feel of the dialogue, so you want the general tone and the information that is being communicated, and so it doesn't have to be like really punchy or anything like that. In fact, this line may stay that way because even then it doesn't have to be that punchy. It's just okay. So let's see. Yeah, that's the sound of the USB. Are you going through on the speakers? What is unplugging? I'm still streaming, right? Everything says it's fine. Says there are a dozen of you watching me. My microphone is still picking up. My headset is still picking up. My keyboard and mouse are still working. Why do I keep getting the USB disconnected sound? So confused. Okay. Anyway, she needs to turn towards him first, because that... Hey, Wrath, how you doing, man? How is your Sunday afternoon, or whatever time it is in your time zone? I want this to be player, just needs to turn right. I know my right from my left, guys. I promise. Okay, and then we need set movement route for Oliver. He needs to turn. And again, some more dialogue that not necessarily overly important. Get exactly right. But just something that conveys the information I want to convey. He's confused because, like, who wouldn't be? He just showed up here. Do I know my starting direction? No idea. Generally assume down. It all has gone downhill from there. All day to work on your game jam game? Cool. I hope as many people enter as humanly possible. I'm gonna tell you a little secret, because you know I'm the one who organizes all the contests we have, and every single time when we get to the last week of submissions, my brain is just like, oh no, I messed up. No one's gonna enter, and we've spent budget on this, and it's going to be a disaster. Because like everybody, and you know, I know it every single time. Everyone enters in the last couple of days, right? You don't really get most of your entries until probably the last 48 hours of any contest. But I get so worried about it every single time because like I'm in charge of it. So every single one of you who submits something, I appreciate it because it makes me feel like I did something right. So let's see. It's good, man. I mean, not everyone's gonna be able to enter every single contest. There's a lot of them. This is just like the biggest one, and so a little on the nervous side, but I know that it's likely just that not everyone's shown anything in. I think we have about 20 entries right now. 20, I think. And that's good for being still like 4 days left. Added bus picks to 90% of the dialogue. I kind of want to do that after I do things, but like, because also I want to do emotion sets for all of mine. I'm using just like, I'm doing a sin here. And make sure not to go over lines. That's technically not a question. I mean, technically, okay, so when you're writing lines like this, like technically this is a statement, right? But you could put that there to indicate how she is saying it, like to indicate her tone. Like there's a difference between I was hoping you could tell me and I was hoping you could tell me. The second one, like, is that question mark gives you that kind of feel of that second way of writing. So even though that's not a question, and yeah, it is copy pasting your show move picks. Though I probably will still use the face sets, maybe. It's one of those things that like definitely during this first iteration when I'm just trying to get a demo out, it's just like do what you need to do if you have the time. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Is the whole thing because like his normal form has like blonde hair. I did something I do not like. Okay, so I want to have, once again, I always like whoever is about to talk to move before they talk. So I was gonna think move down and then look right would be the way to do it. Move her out. I have the thing of like you either want to have before every line of dialogue in a cutscene where it changes who is speaking. I think that you should either have a move route or they should have a speech bubble. Some way to indicate on the map who it is that's speaking during the cutscene. No one does that in reality, like unless you just happen to pace a lot while you talk. But it's a visual thing to show the player who on the screen is talking. And so I'm going to use a bubble here. gonna be, where's the confused? Or actually, better than that, the speech bubble would have worked there. Bubble, bubble, show balloon icon. I think that the player, and where's that one, like the, there we go, that's actually a better one. Everyone dances around. It looks good in cutscenes. It does. All movement has to be exaggerated. I think I talked about that last stream with how theater has to exaggerate a lot of movements. Okay, so what could he do? I think he'll do the down and then set movement route. Oliver, move down. Yep, that's left. You guys couldn't see me, but I had to look up in my head. You know, like when you're thinking really hard, and it's actually a really interesting thing, psychologically, where if you're thinking, your eyes will move in certain directions. And I was trying to remember left and right again. I don't normally have a problem with left and right. I don't know why I'm suddenly doing it today. I remember, I'm just going to be doing stuff while I talk through this story because it's very funny. So, he's gonna say something. What are you gonna say? What's he gonna say? I do agree I'm gonna leave the why is my hair blue off. I think that's a good joke for later. Let's see. Da, 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 da. So, my hands were not on the right row. But no, one time, the original Armored Core, one of my friends was playing, and it was a mission where the area was filled with like not poison gas because they were mechs, but like acidic gas that was destroying the mech, and you had to make your way out of a maze of a building, and I knew the way, and I was telling them directions, and I eventually had to put tape a piece of paper on either side of the screen that said left and right, so that when I would say the direction, he would know which way to go. I don't have a left right problem. I don't, seriously. I'm not that bad. Surely, I guess I am. Oliver, by the way, is a teacher. Let's see. Open. All right. Right now it's default font, so it's gonna be. The thing is 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock actually would be easy for me to remember compared to right and left. I don't know why. Especially because it's like obvious, right? I know which hand is my right hand. I have spent my entire life doing things with my right hand because I'm right-handed. There are some exceptions, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but some things you don't actually do. the proper way to do them is not necessarily with your dominant hand. It's based on which eye is your dominant eye. Like for instance, if you did archery, you want to shoot where you draw with your with the hand on the opposite side of your dominant eye. So my dominant eye is my left eye, because my right eye got damaged in an accident. So even though I am right-handed, if I was to shoot a bow again, which I haven't done in a long time, I would have to shoot it left hand. Yeah, and sometimes dominant foot matters, which is a weird thing. But mostly any type of ranged firing stuff, like if you target shoot anything. My brother was in the army and he's left eye dominant and right-handed, but he shoots a rifle left-handed because his left eye is dominant, same as mine. Though his eyes are fine, ish. He has glasses now, but he isn't blind in one of them. Okay, so I guess now I can have my buddy here come talk to them. All right, so he's here. He's here. That's actually good. That means that I can move him forward and have him talk, and then he can move forward to here, facing. You know, I can just pull this out of the way when I'm looking at the map. I don't know why I keep closing it completely. Do you guys do that? Do you like constantly close events that you don't need to close? Okay, so set movement route. We have, this is going to be actor 1 because that's the right move right. Standing right here. I think I'm going to move this. After I injured my eye, tried to shoot with what I was comfortable with a bow and arrow. At one point, I haven't, like I said, I haven't shot a lot since I was like a teenager, long before I had my axe. But it's very difficult to shoot with. Yeah, you're saving what you changed. I did it again, didn't I? Well, that time I had to because I was going to remove that thing. But I just couldn't do it. Like having to look from the left eye while drawing with your. Yeah, anyway. I'm trying to remember how you even shoot anymore. Like I said, it's been so long since I've shot a bow and arrow that I cannot remember. Double save? Do you have that thing like in This is actually gonna get into something very funny. In a design sense that I think everyone should do. So I'm gonna go into a playtest really quick. Show you what I mean. So come on. Go in. Oh, my passability is all messed up. Why can I not get into? Oh, I have menu disabled somehow. Crap. I need to fix that. I know what it is. It's in my plugin manager stuff. I think it's in core. It is starting a in core, is it in event label icon? I think it's in. It's starting one of my things that it. All right. So Title command list, title picture buttons, UI settings, quality of life settings. New game common event. This is the one I need to get rid of. Should be none. Because it's running an event when it starts, and it shouldn't run any of it. Okay. Now that I've done that, I can go to the menu. Okay, what I was going to try to say, and all of this is wrong, by the way, I know that. The icons, it's because of some other stuff. But one of the things I always do, that's pretty good, but I think that you should make your save sound as obnoxious as humanly possible. The reason for this is because the number of times where I will save the game, back out, and then save the game, go back in and save the game because I can't remember if I've saved or not, is incredibly high. And this is apparently, I know other people do this too. But I can't remember what game it was, but one game had this incredibly obnoxious save sound. And it was so obnoxious that when it happened, I just knew. I knew I had saved because I could remember hearing that sound. So make your save sound as obnoxious as you can. But maybe not like pure clown sound, something like that. But auditory memory is very different from visual memory. I know my auditory memory is very, very good, so maybe that wouldn't work for everybody, but it does for me. Nature, I need. Even though he is not going to stay a fox forever. Oh lord, a 5-minute save sound? I mean, I wouldn't forget I saved. I almost feel like, as silly as it is, like in games where it used to take longer to save, like stuff being written, it also helped me remember. But anything nowadays where it saves in like half a second, you're just like, did I save? I don't know. Better hit the button again. And so we're going to start getting into some lore stuff. And of course, okay, so he's standing here, so he's going to step forward 1 step. Or actually, we could have him back up a step in surprise. That's the way to go. So that movement route is going to be Oliver. 1 step backward. Artificial lag when saving. I'm not saying it would be the worst idea in the world. That would be very funny. You just saved, congrats. Or something like that. Something very dumb and silly. Maybe a full show tune. That sounds wonderful. Look at this. I'm getting stuff done and talking at the same time, like a real streamer. Hey, Midnight, how are you doing? Is this your first time to watching it live? I don't think I've seen you in here before. Let's see. I don't think he needs... Oh, wait, here, there we go. The regular exclamation works perfectly fine. I don't think it needs a wait, though, because I'm going to do a... Doesn't need the wait, because I'm going to be doing a line directly afterwards, and it'll play during the line. Well, I hope to see you more often. I hope that holidays and explosive holidays specifically, and power outages and all that means that I can stream every week, or at least most weeks, on vacation in Minneapolis. Okay, I just gotta ask. It's not anything wrong with Minneapolis, but why vacation in Minneapolis? I go to sets. It's all practice, man. You are a woman. I don't know. You're I say man a lot. The thing is though, is just saying I don't know, man, like has a very chill vibe. But I don't know, woman just sounds really accusatory. That just sounds really mean. But yeah, it's just practice and looking at what other people do and understanding why they're doing things the way they're doing. All right, good. I can accidentally say man. Look, I am a child. I had my teenage years in the '90s. That tells you how old I am. Um, and so like man is just like everybody just man. All right, let's see. Uh, you know what? I know that I'm over testing it. Cannot help myself because I'm so scatterbrained today. You know what? I'll load that. I can do that. So scatterbrained today that I want to make sure. Placeholder battle. It appears that there is an issue. And it is that these were never actually um I need to make sure these go away. So I need to change them to through. I think that will work. This is why you constantly test. Yo, Drag. Glad you could be here as well. I hope that I am not too much of a drag. Hey. Been streaming a lot? I've been streaming some with my wife has been streaming, so I occasionally will jump in when she's playing a game. Okay, so I need to switch like frequency and movement speed, and I have that on the wrong character. Okay, so this right here. Honestly, by the way, this is a thing I've noticed. I don't like the default speed. I feel like the default speed should be faster. All right, but I do need to switch down. After these. Otherwise, they are moving way too fast. What game have you played? What's the latest game you played on stream? Yeah, I was thinking that he could jump back at that point. Or jump back, jump in place, either one. I could throw that in there. Let me do that. I like that. I do set movement route. Remember, how many times like do you go in to set a movement route and forget to change that? Because for me, it is always. Okay, this needs to be a little fast. Let's give him. And I save everything. Just for Treehan out there, yes, I know. I know. Event. Okay, then the battle. They die. Talk to each other for a bit. Undertale. I have not played Undertale yet. I have been told it is good. Um, I have this problem, and I know it's gamer hipsterism. But when a game gets so big and the fan base gets the way Undertale's fan base is, um, I have no urge to play the game, right? By the way, I think I want everything to get. I think that speeds a have I've a little smoother. How am I doing? I am doing well. I had a pretty good day. I slept weird hours. I got up like an hour and a half before the stream, so like 5:30 in the afternoon. Ate tacos. There were carnitas tacos. My wife put them in the slow cooker this morning, and then I took a shower, sat down to stream. Nice minty breath. I already brushed my teeth for the night. I will brush my teeth again because I brush my teeth, well, probably, possibly too much. All right, so I'm gonna have our Fox dude's gonna step one step forward. I don't really need to check where he's standing for that to work because I anywhere close. So it's he's gonna move. That's right. And then I'm gonna give him a. I will say that, like, even though I've not played Undertale, the music is very good. I really like Toby Fox's. Which Toby Fox did a song for a RPG Maker game that went commercial recently and is very, very popular called Amori. I know at least one person who worked on Amori. I'm kind of the same way. I'm getting overexposed. Yeah, exactly. You hear about it constantly, and you're just like I said, it's kind of a little bit of gaming hipsterism where you're just like, no, I don't want to play it now. Can't possibly be that good, and that's actually, there's some truth to that. There can be that moment where something is so overhyped that it cannot possibly be as good as like what the feeling of the community is. I've never played a game that was as good as the hype. Overhype. Except for, but like, because even like the games I consider my favorite games of all time, I still acknowledge that there are flaws with them. I will straight up admit that there are some things that are wrong with the game. Um, my favorite game of all time is the Nier Replicant, and though the Replicant remake that just got released is way better, it still has very few actual environments, and there's still like some things about it that I'm like, yeah, it's still better. Like, fixed a lot of the problems of the original game, but it still is what it is, right? Let's see what he gonna say. He's angry about. Oh yeah, I knew exactly what I was gonna have him say. Pong has no flaws. I would have to go back and try to play it again, but like from the perspective of what it is and what it is trying to be, Pong is actually a really well designed game. There's a popular, but I'm pretty sure there is some flaws that I can think of. But I guess also another thing, you always have to think of a game within the context of what it's attempting to do. Because if you look at Pong and you go, well, the story in this game is garbage. Well, yeah, because it doesn't have one. Of course, the story in Pong is bad because there is no story. It was never intended to have a story, and it's not the purpose, right? I just did it again. I closed out my so the graphics need work on Pong. Someone needs to make like super high definition Pong. That would be very funny. What do you guys get on that? Make Pong HD. Oh, like your paddles get like smaller as you play, as like different parts of your paddle break. If you, it would especially be good if there were some obstacles in the center, so there's some way for it to bounce back into the paddle, right? That actually could be like competitive Pong breakout. Our competitive breakout was what it would feel like. That's actually not a terrible idea for a design. I don't know if it would completely work, but like somebody could probably fast prototype that and see how fun it was. Let's move route. Let's move Oliver back forward. Left, left. We're gonna get so little done today. Alleyway. I don't think I've heard that one. And I've played a lot of old Game Boy games. Thinking back on it, though, I say I've played a lot of old Game Boy games, and I'm like, so that's a good question. What is the best Game Boy game? Game Boy or game? That's really going back. I mean, I know what my favorite one is. Because my favorite Game Boy Color game would be um Game of Color video game would be Dragon Quest Monsters. Really like those games. I would say, without looking, the most successful Game Boy games are probably the Pokemon. And the Pokemon games are good. I'm not gonna lie. Though, like, I would never go back and play the original ones anymore. Gonna do another quick play test. Yes, none of my past abilities. I have this conversation like 80 the Final Fantasy uh Legend series, which was actually I think when he talks, she needs to turn. Because those were not Final Fantasy games. They were Saga games. Okay, so when he moves forward to talk, oh, edit new main character needs. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. That so the turn down needs to be in a different spot. When Oliver goes down and to the left, here, and then and looks down when Oliver walks down, and then look right again. Steps back. Actually, I can probably right, and then when he talks, when he talks, he should turn back down again. All right, now I can watch what she's doing. Everybody else. And yeah, I need to remove the weights from them. You're correct. Okay, that's all this part. Actually, even without the weights, it still works. All right, cool, 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 cool. All right, now our main player is going to jump into the. Let's give Bridge to Balloon. I don't think she's in a good place. Any? Needs to exclaim. Cutscene editor? That'd be neat. I mean, the thing is that, like, personally, the way I'm doing it is probably not the most efficient way I could be doing it. Probably what I need to be doing, like I should do, is put the entire dialogue in all at once. Then once the dialogue is in, go back and kind of start putting in all the movements afterwards. Then add in your sound effects. Then, like, doing them in layers is probably the most efficient, but I'm not doing it that way because, again, I am scattered today. What is on the floor that I just put my foot on? Oh. There's the top to my power supply box. Okay. There's not many games on the original Game Boy I'd still want to play. That's true. It's really just some of the RPGs. Because I think RPGs... Because of the fact that RPGs very little rely on graphics or on, like, Switch-type controls, I think that older style RPGs hold up very well. Now, there are other kinds of old games that hold up very well. The original Super Mario holds up very well. Super Mario 3 holds up really well. Certain styles like that, but, like, most action games don't really hold up super well, comparatively. Yeah, I think most animals do talk, interact with them. The USB that was unplugging? I have no idea what it was that the USB was unplugging. What kind of chair are you sitting in that deflates? Alright, let's see. I can't remember text codes. Oh, they will tell me text size. Increase the text size by 1 step. I wanted. Where is that symbol? There it is. I can't type. Why did I put those spaces there? They're unnecessary. And then I can put, like, the pause thing. Pause. Wait for button input. One day I will remember all of these. Oh, the little pneumatic piston deflated. I know exactly what you're talking about. I have, like, my chair is, like, from Staples. It's actually really good. The one thing I will give everyone advice on, this is not related to making RPGs except for the fact that you're sitting at a desk probably a lot while you're making them. Is that get a good ergonomic chair, don't get a good ergonomic chair with the mesh and everything is just so much more comfortable, and you don't have to spend $1,000 on a Herman Miller Aeron, which I would love to own one, but I spent like $150 on a Staples Hyken. perfectly comfortable. And I can sit in it all day without feeling like I need to die. Alright. I test so much. It's better to test too much than not enough. See, I don't generally get the chance to like play games consistently for where you know like sometimes you just play games like a couple of hours a day and go. I don't know why I opened my data. I almost never get to do that. Like just a two hours a day. No, I usually will find that I have one day where I amazingly have nothing to do. I will play a game. I'll just set things to I'll just set things to go out for the day on social media. Like I'll just schedule them first thing in the morning, and sometimes I'm just like, oh, it's Saturday. I don't have anything specific to do, and I'm just going to binge some game, and like I'll do that I'll maybe find 2 days like that I can do it and finish a game, and possibly not sleep enough. But I think playing modern games is important. Just playing games in general is important to making games because it's one, inspiration, and two, you know what people are doing. Sometimes people will use a mechanic that you're thinking about using, and you'll see it and you'll go, oh, that didn't work. Why didn't it work? Not just saying like it didn't work at all, like you shouldn't use it, but you can look at it and go, well, what was the reason why I didn't think that worked? What interactions was it having that where I could do it better or like integrate it better into my game? Or maybe it just didn't work at all and it was just a bad idea to begin with. But also like just you'll see stuff that just surprises you that you didn't think of, and now that's how you want to do things. One of the things is the game I played Atelier Ryza, I think is the name how you pronounce it. And the way it did items was really interesting and heavily inspires what I'm doing in this game. And if I hadn't played that game, it would have never occurred to me to do items that way. So I just think it's important to play games, even if you feel like you don't have the time, just to set some time aside to play what is coming out, or even go back and play a game from 10, 15, 20 years ago if you do. But just constantly be consuming the kind of media you're kind of trying to create, because otherwise you end up doing I'm going on a rant and not even doing anything on screen, I know. But you do what's called, like, okay, so in tabletop RPGs we call this a fantasy heartbreaker. The idea is this person thinks that they are doing something amazingly original, it's never before seen. We're going to revolutionize tabletop RPGs. And they release it, and you realize they have not played a tabletop RPG that has come out in the last 20 years. Because everything they think is amazing and revolutionary had already actually been done in another game. So, yeah. It's that thing of like just being aware and constantly trying new games is a good idea. Alright, enough of my rant. The Steam Deck. It looks cool, and if it works well, good for it. I'm not going to get one because I don't have the money to right now. And also it's sold, like, isn't the pre-order sold out already? But I will say, it's Valve. Valve's hardware record is not the greatest in the world. I still have a Steam controller from when they went on sale really cheap, and I feel the Steam controller is good for some things, but ultimately a very odd controller. But at least with the Steam Deck, they realized they needed analog stick. Okay, now I'm gonna actually do something rather than on. Okay, so the pre-orders are out till Q3 of 2022. Yeah, not good. I mean, the Steam Deck doesn't need its own version of RPG Maker because it would just run on it. Steam Deck runs anything a SteamOS can run. And you could install Windows on it for that. It's just a PC in a different form factor, which is a neat idea. Here's another thing. Talking about the... Hold on while my brain buffers. Same that I was talking about, like with the question mark in that one sentence. This is grammatically incorrect. But putting that comma there can indicate how he is speaking. Like, it can indicate that he is having a pause there. So, but you could probably do it like that as well, and that's not grammatically incorrect. And I think that's probably the better way to do it. But a lot of things about when you're writing people's dialogues is that being grammatically correct is not the most important thing. Capturing the intonation of how they speak and the specific word choice they would use. If someone is, say, obviously not in this game, I'm not writing anyone to be from, say, the southern US. You would write in a lot of things like ain't. Though ain't is actually officially a word in English now. It is in the dictionary. But hey, Benny, how are you doing today? Got you are you wearing your suit, or are you just like being a normal cat today? Oh, it must be early morning for you today on Monday, right? Yeah, I wouldn't want to try to like dab on it. Oh, let's see how. Actually, do you know? This is also a good time to use this again. Or I could just use a pause. What's the pause for a second? I don't know. I like the wait for input because if you do the wait for second, it means you can't spam through things. Oh, what is our next RPG Maker Cola episode that's coming out? Who's your guest for the next one? Like, I know you obviously recorded it a good bit back because I know you always have a buffer. I need to listen to more of the RPG Maker Cola podcast, which, if you guys have not listened to them, they're very good. I would highly suggest the one with me in it, because it has me in it. But, like, a whole bunch of people who are way cooler than me have also been on there. Like, Arkea's been on there, and I know... Was Yanfly on there at one point? Oh, yeah, there we go. There's the one I was thinking of. Archaic Has and Yanfly, who are all, once again, way cooler than me. So, that's definitely a cool combo of people. And yeah, I think as a portable emulation machine, I think that's going to be like the coolest thing to do with. And like some games are cool. Like I'd love to be able to play like Nier Automata on the go. All right, so what was I doing? I was trying to think of what. Let's do again. Always want to have something. Let's give him a frustrating thing. We talked for too long. That was really it. I you know, you get into it. It's because Steele and Teal are like, and you two are easy to talk to, and we just like bounce back and forth on ideas. And me and Steele have like very similar ideas on game design. My thing is like podcasts. Like I don't listen to a lot of podcasts, and one of the reasons why is I've not had a commute in 10 years. And I think the last time I listened to some podcasts is because I was doing an event in Orlando, which is a drivable distance from me, but it was an 8-hour drive. So I drove 8 hours down there and 8 hours back. And I listened to a bunch of podcasts then. I also listened to my episode of RPG Maker Cola because I wanted to make sure I didn't sound like an idiot. Um, and I didn't. I didn't sound like an idiot for the most part. I think I pause a lot in weird places. All right, so I swear I'm gonna get through this one cutscene, and then like by the time I get done with it, I'm gonna be like done with this episode. Like 2 hours, and I've done half a cutscene. Well, this reminds me of people are talking about like the culture of comics in Japan, like manga, compared to the culture of it in the U.S. I'm doing I need to test because I need to know where I've lost track of where my my fox is. But anyway, it's the whole thing of like I could load. It doesn't really matter. Comics in the U.S. are one more expensive for the same amount of stuff, right? And all I'm looking for is where the fox ends up. I think it's right there is where he ends up. Nope, right there. Oh, and I made a mistake. But the whole thing of how they read a lot of comics of their manga like on the train on their commute. The fact that we don't have most of us are not riding a train. We have to drive ourselves to work. We don't have that same thing. So like at one point there people would just buy the magazines. They'd like buy a weekly Shonen Jump for $3, like 300 yen or however much it costs over there. And then when they got done reading it, they just toss it because it's on cheap, you know, paper. It's not worth anything. All right. So I'm gonna have him the actor one, which is our fox. He's going to turn away from the party, which is left. Oh, I'd love to have trains everywhere. I'll tell you my favorite part about. I mean, I could tell you my favorite part about visiting Tokyo, and every single time I said this is my favorite part, it would be something different. But this time, I'm just gonna say like the public transit in Tokyo, so fantastic. The ability to just get anywhere at any time during the day. They do shut down the trains at night. Um, just the ability to get anywhere at any time and just so convenient. Not have to drive. I do not like driving, by the way. One of my least favorite things in the world to do. And if you are a white man in Japan and you get on a train, no one will stand or sit near you because they are afraid you will talk to them. It's like not like a thing of like, you're dirty gaijin. No, it's just that like culturally they don't they're the they are not as big on talking to strangers. So it's just easier for them not to be around you. Well, it also helps that Tokyo is incredibly dense. But like just throughout Japan, there are still trains. I'm gonna just put in a placeholder name. I haven't had a name for what the reincarnated people are, so just. Last time I was on a long flight was, I think I watched dude, my Japanese isn't even scuffed. The only word I can regularly remember in Japanese is nani. Yeah, their public transit system's amazing. It's so good. So like words. It's hard to type words and speak words at the same time. This entire piece of dialogue is gonna have to be rewritten because it's not very good. But it's what I'm trying to just again. So, be nice to travel again. Yeah, I'm supposed to go back to Tokyo at some point. After. Oh, the placeholder is just the name of the people who are constantly reincarnating. The 5 legendary heroes from the original story, like the original backgrounds. Which these 2 characters, not Guy, but the 2, Oliver and Ren, are 2 of them. But again, we're going to be as vague. Like, you want to give people information without info dumping them. So, like, he's going to mention what these things are, or mention that like, we're hunting someone who is a blank. But he doesn't bother mentioning to them that that's what they are right now. Because, one, it's not in his personality. He doesn't really explain fully. Also, so story-wise, with Guy, who is currently our fox, that he's not going to be a fox. He actually is going to be a Komodo dragon. It's going to be cool. There's a cool piece of art that is coming for it. He doesn't actually know as much as he acts. He knows roundabout things, but he doesn't know exact details. All right, I'm gonna do what I was talking about before, where I just put in the dialogue, and then we're gonna go back and But guy is cheeky. He's not the kind of person who explains too much, because by being vague, he gets to pretend that he actually knows everything that's going on. And it's kind of silly to do that, but like, I know you know the type. Alright. I'm gonna put in some movement. Oh, not scroll map. How am I gonna move him? Like, I don't wanna... What am I do? I know what I'm gonna do. He's facing left. I'm gonna have him turn down, then have a wait half a second, then turn up and have a wait for half, then have him I don't think I'm gonna have him move before. I think I'm just gonna have him move after. Again, set movement route. 1. Left, he's just telling him to come. Alright, and now we need everyone to converge on wherever Fox is, and we all combine. Everyone. I need to figure out where everyone is at the end of the cutscene. Make sure that everything... And because I have my passability turned off, I was able to walk past the actual event. Da, 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 da. Alright, so... she needs to go 1, 2, 3. And the good thing about this is she ends there, so she needs to go... Actually, I should have them go like individually. So I'll have Oliver up right. Oliver join. And then have player down left, or both of these should be left. And then 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait, just 1, 2. Player left. Actually, I think maybe let's do player down. Player face right. Oliver left. Join. Then player left, player left. No, just player left. X3. Yeah, I mean, like the move to tile plugin, like it should be able to use the same pathfinding that the mouse system uses, right? Like, it has to have the function to do that already, programmed in. Probably not perfect, but for cutscenes, you'll know if it works or not. But you can already hook into the system they have. All right, so I have that. I'm gonna put it on my other screen so you guys can't see it, but I can. All right, so set movement route. I'm gonna move our player down and then right. Then let's have a small piece of dialogue here. Oh yeah, they haven't introduced themselves. You know, technically, every single. I just realized I have not once. I never introduced him. So I have been using his name in the name box without ever saying who he is. So these should go back, should probably all be question marks. All right, and then you're gonna have that movement route. Oliver through on, going to move left. Then it's just going to transparency on. Then change. Why do I forget where change party manager? Add. Then we'll have that movement route player left times 3. Move left, move left, left. Then that movement route, I don't think it goes otherwise. Actually, no, so change image to nothing. Actor 1. Then move it back to where set event location. So it's going to be actor 1. Up here, back where it goes. Once again, not actually necessary. I just do it all the time. I always put away my toys. He just looks like an Oliver, right? And then I need to set my next I need to variable track. Oliver joins at 20. So we need to set control variables 21. It's dungeon 1. We need to set dungeon 1 to 20. Where this point is, we need new event page. This is if variable dungeon 1 is 20 or higher. And then all of these also. No, I don't know. Okay. Damn. How did I never know you could paste an event page? That makes it so much easier. All right, now what I'm going to do. Well, first I'm going to test this event. Kind of winding down for today. I can't see you guys because I put Excel file over it. Yeah, I have been playing with those toys for a while now. Also, do I have my party set? I have like everybody in my party right now, which is silly. Let's just start with her. Okay. We know everything up to this point works. All right, so that all works now. Oh. Yes, so like now I can see you. I am watching you right now. How does that make you feel? You know, you probably could, Arcandre, like, I imagine you could by like opening the individual like files. I don't know exactly how they're stored in like they're stored in JSONs, aren't they? Like events and everything. I'm sure it could be done. Yeah, can you? I was thinking you could open it in Notepad++, right? I would think you would be able to, but I've never done it because I didn't thought about it. There's a lot of things that I'll probably need. I'm gonna look at seeing how I could do mass replacements because, like, for instance, in every event I'm using the faces, right? Except for that's not how my faces are going to be organized when I get done. And if I can go through and do a mass replace of faces organizations, that makes it much faster. All right. Well, it is only 10 minutes left on what I would normally do. That's a very good stopping point we are at. I'm going to do my next time. So thank you everyone for coming and hanging out with me. Like a lot of people talking in chat today. That's really good. I will tell you is that number one worst thing to do while streaming is to have no one watching you and no one on stream with you. Feeling like you were talking to no one, just terrible. But today we had some new people. I'm glad that everyone was their first time. I know that we had Drag, I thought was the first time. I think Benny, the first time I saw him in here. First time I saw, I know he jumped in for just a little bit. That was somebody I had not seen before. Want to find him. Midnight Mischief, it was nice to see you as well. Also, for all the people I know I've seen before, like, I'm pretty sure I've seen Red Mage before, but I know for a fact I've seen Wrath before and Sir Legna. BG, good to see you again. Mark Andre, good to see you as well, and Video Wizard. So all of you have a wonderful week. I hope you get your games in if you're doing a game for the Game Jam. Looking forward to seeing all of those games, and I get to play them without having to think about it because I'm not a judge. I'm just in charge. I know I've seen you there before, Red Mage. But once again, everyone, I am so glad to have had to do this again. Hopefully, nothing will break. I will be back next week we do have tomorrow our Studio Blue stream, which shouldn't have a problem. Hopefully, there's no storms in Texas that knock him out this week. And have a good week.